Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
All right, welcome into the Woodward Sports Network. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder, as always.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate all of you guys tuning in with us, locking in Tuesday night. It is no longer Victory Monday. We're locked in. It's like a hangover of Victory Monday and Sunday. We have moved on.
The best kind, though.
It is the best kind. We've moved on, though. It's like one of those things when you play sports, they tell you get 24 hours to enjoy a win, and then you're on to the next. That's exactly what we're doing. We're moving on. We'll talk about the game a little bit more, but we're going to talk about the Lions a lot. A lot of things happened today. Signed a new player, pass rusher. We have some breaking Michigan news to kind of share on the show today as well. So make sure you guys lock in for that. We have a huge show. We've got Broder, as always.
Hey!
Lions beat
What's
writer
up,
for the Detroit Lions and Woodward Sports.
We're going to have a good show.
We will. We got Jalen in the TD booth as always.
Hey boys,
Minus Fridays.
in the work clothes today. In the work clothes.
Look at you looking sharp.
In the work clothes.
I love it. And then we've got Nick. He's back.
Back to back,
Nick
baby.
is back.
We are back on the nighttime first show since the win. So
Yeah, baby.
Second show for you, though.
yeah,
This could be his victory Monday.
It's been a long day, boys, but I'm ready to bring it on. Woodward Nights, baby. Let's have a night.
Stash is looking nice and thick, Nick.
Appreciate you.
It is. What were you doing yesterday with that stash?
Plumbing. Like Detroit Mario.
Okay.
Yeah, plumbing. Great.
He's taking care of all of the plumbing in downtown Detroit. That's what he does. He's like a ninja.
I didn't mean to lead it that way.
Shut up.
You were actually doing fun human things yesterday.
Yeah, he was.
Had a little concert in Detroit. Shout out.
Shout out. I think it was like a Hannah Montana concert or something.
I'm going to let you guys battle this one
What
out.
was it actually? I can't remember.
It was at Majestic.
What was the person though?
Jeremy Zucker, my girlfriend, is a fan, so shout out.
He's got some talent. He's a talented little artist.
I have not listened, but I will.
You've probably heard him featured on some songs. Like, I can't even remember any of them, but I know he's out. Like, he's got some hits, I think.
I was putting in good boyfriend duties.
I love it. Look at you,
My
Nick.
guy.
You and that stash. All right, breaking news. Let's get right into this, though. The Detroit Lions signed Bruce Irvin Broder. You were over there kind of doing your beat reporter research on him. It is official from the Detroit Lions, correct?
Not yet, but it seems to be official. I haven't got the official notice, but let's talk about it like it is, because there is a picture that has surfaced of somebody himself in his locker down in Allen Park. Yeah.
We have the man, the myth, the legend, the Jeff Brewster with a $50 donation.
Oh, my God.
Jeff Brewster, shout out. It's been a while, so sorry to interrupt you guys. Shout out Jeff, though.
Dude, you can interrupt me anytime for Jeff Brewster.
Okay.
Jeff, thank you, man.
Shout out Jeff Brewster, man.
There we go.
What
Jeff,
a
thank
dog.
you. Dude, much appreciated. That helps us out a ton. Thank you.
Part of that will pay for Bruce Irvin's contract in Detroit.
Facts.
That's confirmed. That's just part of his signing
Since
bonus.
he's got some clothes, some things in his locker in Allen Park. I think that's the last thing I said. So it's
I saw the picture.
Basically official.
So, yeah, and I don't think I listened to the heavyweights a little bit because when it dropped, I tuned in real quick. I wanted to see kind of the feel just around. I looked at the chat. I was looking at, listening to what they had to say. They kind of seemed to be on two different sides with it. Spencer seemed a little bit like, whatever. And Easy was kind of a little bit more pumped with it. I think I'm more so on the Easy side. I'm sure you are as well, because we have spoke a lot in regards to they need help. Like yesterday, we did a whole segment on the defensive line talking about how, like, anything, like, can they just go out and get someone? Can they just add a piece to give, like, a little, like, light under them to, like, just light them on fire and get them going? This seems like something that could have that happen.
Yeah.
And whether he's going to come out and give you, I don't know, 3 or 4 sacks the rest of the season. Nick mentioned it on the heavyweights in the playoffs. What was it, Nick? He had 12 playoff games and like 4.5 sacks in his career. So he can produce. He's a veteran. Maybe they'll put pressure on guys like John Kaminsky, Charles Harris, the Aquaro brothers. Maybe he'll get those guys moving a little bit because, hey, we're bringing someone in. If you guys aren't going to work, we're bringing someone else will.
Yeah, it's just new blood in the locker room. Whether he's the one that sparks the defense with his play or his sacks, or things he does or teaches these younger guys. It's a very young defensive line. So maybe his veteran presence, having made it to the playoffs, having a successful career, even last year he had a pretty decent season in 11 games. Maybe that's his role, where he's just helping the other guys develop as a veteran on the field or in the practice field. We don't know yet, but I just love that they're trying something. They took a stab to add some new blood to that locker room. We have no idea how good it's going to end up, but I think it's low risk or no risk. Like, what is the risk? Might as well. They just put Halapoulivaati Vaitai on the injured reserve,
which is a huge move.
It is
out of nowhere.
It is. So that opened up a roster spot. They're able. Let's go get Bruce Irvin.
And Lorena in here, and now I kept hearing this on the heavyweights, like Spenny and everyone kept saying, like, oh, he's 36 years old. It's a 1 year. It's a rental.
Yeah.
You have him for the next 4 months. You're not sitting here like, hey, he's going to sign a 4-year deal with you. No, you have him for the rest of the season in a playoff push. That's all you need him for. That's all it is. You just need some more depth. It's just crazy to me that so many people were asking for depth, and I know after losing Chase Young, you were like, you wanted that.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, now we need something, and they went out and got something, and a lot of people are like, oh man, it's like, dude, lock in.
Can win.
They're taking a push for a playoff run, and that shows that, like, Brad Holmes is like, we're ready to go.
So kind of wanted to pose that question to you boys. What a bullshit signing. Made no moves at the deadline just for this. Unreal. And don't tell me we don't want to give up our future. Our whole team is our future. From Michael from the Mitten. How do you guys feel from Michael in the Mittens chat?
Made no moves at the deadline just for this. Unreal. And don't tell me we don't want to give up our future for a whole team. It is the future. Listen, Michael from the Mitten. There's a few things with this. One, Brad Holmes did pursue Chase Young and Montez. Like, that was a thing. That was, I'm pretty sure it came out that he was going after, but he only would give up 20-25 picks. So he has been pursuing guys. I'm sure he reached out to JPP yesterday as well and said, hey, do you want to come here? And he chose the Saints over the Detroit Lions. Let's not act like Brad Holmes isn't doing anything here. He is out there looking for trades. It's already been proven that he's gone for it. This is the guy he got, and this is the guy you're going to have to deal with. And he's going to help the team at some point.
It's not going to hurt. How could it hurt the team? Like what'd they give up for him?
How is it a bad
Literally
signing?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't give up anything. So this...
What are you going to pay, $1 million?
It's a win-win. It might not be a home run signing, but it's not a bad signing. Like, there's nothing about it that could be bad unless he gets injured tomorrow and doesn't contribute at all. But what is it? Doc Macaroon says, Bruce Irvin's my age. His hamstrings will be hurting after practice tomorrow. That might be true.
Hey, Doc, we should get you in the pads out there then. I would love to see a little one-on-one action. You and Bruce. That'd be sweet.
Yep, going up against...
I'll do it too.
Doc going against Taylor Decker.
Ooh. That would be a good one, actually.
Love to see it. So I'm a fan of it. Obviously, who knows how important it will be, but it's a win-win.
It's huge. I think it's huge. I don't think it's like a whoa, but it's huge that they added something because they needed something on the depth for sure.
Brad doesn't have to change a single thing about whatever strategy he has. We have faith that Brad Holmes has some plan in his head, right?
Puts pressures on the other guys.
Yeah. So whatever that plan is, I trust it, and he's sticking to it. And this doesn't affect that plan at all. Without knowing any of the contract details, without knowing any of the other details, or what his plan truly is, I trust Brad Holmes. WWWBH.
Trust to Brad Holmes.
What would Brad Holmes do?
Yep. Jalen?
I'll be the one to say it. I don't like it.
Why?
I don't think. I think mentorship wise, he'll be good for the D line and stuff like that. But I just don't think that he's gonna make an immediate impact, which you don't need him to. We just want somebody help Aiden out. But I don't think that he was the guy. You had Sue out there. I don't know if Sue wants to play. He may not. But Sue, I think
still may sign him.
I think Pierre Paul was out there too.
He went with the Saints.
Yeah. Okay. Gone. So it's just I don't know. Bruce Irvin is that guy. We know what he did. We know who Bruce Irvin is for sure. But I think the fans are a little just upset because of the Chase Young thing. No matter how you look at it, it hurts a little bit. But we got to get over it. But getting Bruce Irvin, I don't know how much that's going to matter.
Is there a negative to getting Bruce Irvin, though? That's the thing.
That's the question.
Because people are acting like there's negatives out here, and it's why did we make this move?
You can be negative, but you got to be realistic, too. You weren't going to get a Chase Young again. You weren't going to get somebody crazy, you know what I mean? So whoever wants to play that's out there, a lot of these free agents don't want to play right now. So Bruce Irvin signed it, but I don't like it. But then again, you never know. And his mentorship and experience can help, maybe us in the playoffs too, because he used to be a part of one of the best defenses ever. the last
Legion of
15
Boom
years.
is now going up against the Legion of Womb.
You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Schiffgott's throwing some names out there. I saw Robert Quinn. That was a name I looked up because I saw him on the free agent list. I'm pretty sure he was going through some stuff before the season.
And I don't know if they want any Bob Quinns back in Allen Park.
Yeah, good one. Did you see as well here, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Jalen, was that tweet in there? Can you throw that up?
Yeah, I got that.
He tweeted out, and as well as he did put a video out of him working out. Looks like he might be on his way back here, Broder, and it might be sooner than we think. He threw up there and he said time is ticking. So I think that's kind of meaning, hey, CJ, we might see CJ sooner than we think.
I want it.
I'm not saying it's the next few weeks, but I think maybe when you look at it, it could be at the end of the season, week 17, 18, and then potentially this whole thing. I remember the Morning Woodward show talked about this bye week thing.
Yeah.
The 1-2 seed, which
Jewish priest.
Yeah. Whoa.
What?
Yeah. Okay.
Judas Priest?
Okay. Yeah. You threw me off for a second there.
But no, what I do.
I think
That's what I
end
do.
up getting the 1 seed somehow, CJ Gardner-Johnson's back for sure.
Yeah, it depends see how the season plays out. Whether if he's healthy enough for week 17, week 18, but they've already clinched. Do they bring him back? If the game's not as important, do they bring him back to get his game legs under him? Do they save him if they get a bye? Let him get extra healthy. Who knows? He is on a 1-year deal, so he's not technically going to be a Lion next year quite yet. Yeah. So we're going to learn a lot about that. I mean, this coaching staff we're going to talk about today, and we're going to say good and questionable things about. A lot of good things about.
I think
they got some big decisions coming up. Always more good.
I'm just interested to see that argument this morning was. I was pretty heated about it, like just watching it, and I went back and watched it and was heated. But I mean, if you get a bye, CJ Gardner-Johnson is back for sure in the playoffs.
Yeah,
you add him.
Yeah,
you just signed Bruce Irvin, and guess who else is going to come back?
James
Houston. So this defensive line will be a little boosted up a little bit into the playoffs. Like this isn't going to be a joke of a defense. You would hope not, at least.
Yeah.
Like there's pieces coming.
They better not be. The path is there to go on a run. Like it's one thing I love about what Maz was saying today in the Ronnie and Edwards show. It's like you got the path in front. The path. You got the Booner path in front of you with the schedule. It all lines up where it's yours for the taking. Go get it. That's why a lot of people, including myself, were bummed they didn't make bigger moves at the deadline. But it is what it is.
There's still a path.
It's still there.
And if there's people that are going to say, "Hey, I don't want to take that path," go ahead, take a different path.
See what Hansel and Gretel did.
Yeah.
You got eaten by witches.
Not always, the grass isn't always greener on the other side, fellas.
Seriously,
I learned that the hard way sometimes.
Yeah.
I do. Two more graphics here before we get into things here and kind of go back to our first break. First one, we're talking about the path, Broder. We're talking about winning the Super Bowls. We're talking about that. Guess what you need to do that? Quarterback. Jared Goff currently.
Yeah, baby.
PFF. Jalen, you can throw that up whenever. Is the number 1 ranked quarterback in PFF right now in the whole league for the whole season. 90.6 grade. There is no quarterback in the NFL that's graded higher than him right now. He is the best quarterback per PFF in the NFL right now.
I got a PFF too.
Yeah, that is great.
That's your numbers. Oh yeah, JG. When did I write that article? April. JG's playing great. We talk about him a lot, and we're going to talk about him more today. Great to see him getting some recognition. Whether you believe in PFF stats or not, he's at least doing enough right to be near the top. In terms of PFF, he is the number 1 ranked quarterback. That's awesome. He deserves it. And he's playing like it. That's a 7-2 team. I hate seeing shitty quarterbacks or quarterbacks on shitty teams up there as the number 1 quarterback in the league. Jared Goff is now doing it on the Lions, who are 7-2, second in the NFC.
Yeah, and there's people that will compare some teams there with stats and Jared Goff, and then they're like compare like the Russell Wilson, all these different players. It's all right, let's compare records here and let's see who's leading their team to victory. And then they're like, oh well, he has weapons. Well, he's out there doing it. Like he's out there making plays at the end of the day. Like he has been elite the last. And what did we say last week in our bold predictions? I came out and said, Jared Goff, go out there. Single-digit interceptions for the season, 30 touchdowns. If he does that and keeps putting up the numbers he is right now, especially with the schedule they have, Jared Goff might be an all-pro player.
Hey, vote out there. Mark it down.
I'll do the flannel.
Tuesday, November 14th at 8:14 p.m. Booked.
What did you say?
Nothing. I just time-stamped it live for you.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I got you. What's the last one you got?
Last thing here. I tweeted this out actually today. Jalen, if you want to throw my tweet, Jahmyr Gibbs. I went looking around on my drive to work this morning. I was thinking about something, and I was like, I wonder where Jahmyr Gibbs ranks between three players throughout the NFL. Or not 3 players, but the last 3 games played. And look at this. Now, I want to make this known. Obviously, the Lions had a bye week, but this is the last 3 games played by each player. So Jahmyr Gibbs currently right now in his last 3 games and that 3-game stretch, 427 total yards, which is second in the NFL. 142 yards per game, which is second in the NFL. 297 rushing yards, Broder, first in the NFL. 4 total touchdowns, second in the NFL. And at the bottom, I threw that question there. I wanted to put it out there. Will Jahmyr Gibbs be one of the best running backs in the NFL by the end of the season? I think with those numbers in the last 3 weeks, he has been probably the second best running back in the NFL.
Yeah.
Keeps putting those numbers up, he will be the best, top 5 running back in the NFL by the end of the season.
You just got to keep it going. Remember, we said similar things about Bijan at the beginning of the season when Atlanta was actually handing him the ball, and he was putting up yards, touchdowns. Bijan was that dude even before C.J. Stroud he's going to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs is. To me, he's clearly taken that spot over Bijan. Now he's just got to keep doing it for the rest of the year.
He's got confidence. He's got in a great offense with Ben Johnson, and he's got a great quarterback to help lead him places and put him in the right spots. Audibles, all of that stuff.
Don't forget the Legion of Boom.
And he's got the best offensive line in the NFL, boys. I swear, Jahmyr Gibbs is in a great spot the next 5 years. I'm happy for him. I hope he's like Kamara. Breaking news, though, again.
Breaking Brewster news.
We got $50 back to back. Jeff Brewster, another 50.
Shout out Jeff Brewster. And I like the Kamara comp there, but honestly, I think he can be better than Kamara. I just wanted to get this off real quick.
No,
Shout out
it,
Jeff
Nick.
Brewster for the $50 million. I think Alvin Kamara, I think that's selling Jahmyr Gibbs' potential just a little bit short. I think he can be even better.
I love that.
That's how electric he has been as a runner.
Also, Nick, us laughing. This is a laugh in support of you. Like, that was an epic.
Yeah.
You just touched on 3 things in about 10 different words.
We're firing on
It was
all
like the one
cylinders
time
tonight.
you went to. Remember when we went to the ad and you started giving your
hilarious.
take?
Yeah, like,
that
I love
was
that.
one of the best. That was one of the best.
I was
all-time
about to
moments.
there, so I'm glad I didn't have to.
We were about to go
Shout
to an
out.
ad, but we do have to actually go to lad. Before we go to Big Boy here, I'm going to tell you guys about Woodward and Maine, Lions Insider Show here at Woodward Sports. Make sure you guys tune in. That is Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Detroit legend Terry Foster. Tuesdays, it was this morning, so go back and watch it. It is on our YouTube page, and then this Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. for all of your insider information and breakdown on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
And over at Big Boy, wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. How about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The classic lumberjack or Santa Fe Garden. Also, new apple pie hotcakes that are too good to miss. Top it all off with a new gingerbread shake for dessert. Stop by our local Big Boy today.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Dick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
All right, let's talk about it. It is Outdoor Equipment Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports Network. That is Michigan-grown, family-owned, bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, and even weed whippers. They have everything you need. Liberty trailers, Generac generators, Snow X plows and salters. Outdoor Equipment Co. has it all. You can buy it. You can rent it. 0% financing delivery right to your doorstep. That is over at OutdoorEquipCo.com. All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Is the Woodward Sports Network. Yes, appreciate all of you guys locking in with us here. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys smack that like button for us. Let's get over 50 here by the end of the segment. I don't know what the heavies got before, but that's what we're going to be chasing down.
At about 115.
They're at 115 right now?
I believe so.
Maybe more. Right now, we're getting over 115 today. We're going to beat them out, and we're going to make sure we get the like button here today. Appreciate all of you guys locking in with us. Beautiful Tuesday night. College basketball is officially back. We've got Michigan State versus Duke going on. There's NBA on. No bad football games like that Bills one yesterday really hurt me. I'm not going to lie.
Just how do you feel about your Bills? Steve Wiles was ripping on you.
Yeah, shout out Steve.
Just wanted to remind you that's a tough.
It was, and this is the thing. I think. Actually, I want to save it a little bit because I did have the prediction, a little bold take there for the Bills when we talk about coaches and things. So we'll save that for a little bit.
Oh, you dog.
But Josh Allen, he's got to figure that out. Him and Stephon Diggs got to get on the same page. I do think maybe that offensive coordinator had something to do with it. So Joe Brady, time to step up.
Is that who's stepping up to be OC?
I believe so, yeah. He was the OC at LSU with Joe Burrow.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was like the best offense ever in college football history.
Interesting.
But they obviously had like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson.
Man, that team was literally like the best team I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, so he did have a good team, but I still think he'll be a good OC. I think he'll be fine for the time being.
Ken Dorsey got fired. He was the one who's got the boot.
Shout out to the Miami Hurricane.
The U. He had some, talk about an insane college offense. Ken Dorsey was
and defense and campus.
Was that 7-4 crew?
That Ken Dorsey had left, so that was the Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen was like, that's the 05. Ken Dorsey's like, 99, like 2002 joint.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to you.
Yeah, Shout out.
It's all about the you. All right.
We need Miami football. Yeah, we need Miami football to get back. Like, that's one of those teams.
There's a couple teams out there that you would hope, but I just don't think they'll ever be back. Because you say it every 5 years and then it never happens. So,
just like Texas.
Yeah, and just like
Quinn Ewers is coming back. Yeah, likely.
He will be. They might win a national championship.
Yeah, you
next
watching,
year.
Nick.
All right, let's lock in, boys. Lions Chargers are kind of breaking into this Bears game. We have a couple videos kind of going back to this Lions game. Dan Campbell spoke about a few things. Jared Goff did. Amon-Ra St. Brown. We're gonna do that, and then we're gonna just turn the page. Boop. We're going to 8-2. Boop. We're flipping the page. I saw some Bears fans on Twitter today going at easy. What's going on?
We're going to 8-2. I thought we were 7.
We're 7-2, but I'm saying this week we're flipping the page and we're going 8-2 this week.
Gotcha. Okay.
There were some Bear fans talking to Easy, going at him a little bit.
I saw that,
and I commented. The Bears fan was like, "Well, what are you talking about? You guys have a better or David Montgomery's better at rushing over there. We have more rushing yards than you guys have right now." And the Bears fan just had no clue that they played a full extra game.
He's an idiot.
Zero clue.
He's an id.
Oh yeah, I mean he does math like the front office. He doesn't know what he's doing.
And it's like if I'm not mistaken, in the guy's Twitter title, not his handle, but his title, it like had the Bears record of like 3-7. It was a really long one with a bunch of emojis. Yeah, like good dude. He was talking about David Montgomery. And you're talking about your entire team's rushing statistics. Yeah, whatever.
And he was wrong about it.
So. Whatever.
But let's do this real quick. I have a couple videos, Broder, I got from the Twitter, Lions Twitter, so shout out to them. They put a couple things on for there. The first one I want to talk about, the biggest thing from this game, I'm sure some people here in the chat already saw it, but Jared Goff gave props to this offensive line about how he might have the best. He actually came out and said, these two tackles we have might have been the best players on this field today. Mm-hmm. And you saw what Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, and Amon-Ra St. Brown did. And he said, I think these tackles are the best players on the field.
Yeah.
So here's Jared Goff talking about this O-line and giving a ton of praise to these fellas, man.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about after the game. They got, Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa are two of the top guys in the game. And we say this all the time, but two of our tackles are two of the top guys in the game. And not only was there no sacks, I don't think I ever got hit. and that doesn't happen against a good D-line like that. And it's a credit to those guys and how good they are. And I think this unit we have now is going to start gelling pretty well and continue to keep going.
Why do you think they keep picking white jerseys so often? Like, he just wants to keep a nice, clean jersey. He knows that offensive line is going to keep him
Did he get touched
upright.
at all?
I think, I don't know if he just said that just there. I don't think he got touched.
I don't think he got a
They didn't get to him at all, bro.
No, we're talking, like, I don't think we're overstating enough. That's Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. Those are two of the best in the league on the same team coming from opposite sides.
Yeah, and shout out to those
Taylor.
guys. We're going to talk about it a little bit. I didn't really tease kind of the rundown, but we do have a segment today that is breaking down the contracts for some of these guys. Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, or the tackle that he was talking about, contract talking about him. And I did a little deep dive into their numbers right now and kind of their projected numbers. But I just think like Penei is the best in the game right now. Taylor Decker is one of the best in the game when he's at a high level and he's not injured. So I'm excited. I think that's a kind of a key piece to have in the playoffs, brother.
That's the thing. Having an offensive line like that in the playoffs, it I don't want to just say neutralizes, but you can play any type of game that's in front of you, whether it's going to be a hard-nosed, low-scoring game that you need to dominate on the ground, or if it's a shootout, you need Jared Goff to throw it deep. The fact that they're so good at both run protection and pass protection. What just happened in this Pistons game?
Thompson just caught a body.
Was that Clint Capella?
But no, it's one of those things. It sets you up for whatever comes to you or whatever you want to put out there in whatever game whatever team you face. We were speculating on what seeds we want them to get. Regardless of who they play, they can play whatever type of game they need to. Or at least Ben Johnson can game plan for that. And then adjust because they can do the opposite just as good.
Yeah, and I think like with all of that, it's like this team has so much trust, Broder. In the last couple videos I have with this game, I wanted to end it on this because there's the two guys on the offense I feel like that are kind of they're both captains on the team, and Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Dan Campbell spoke about both of them in this and kind of how they affect this game. And I think going forward, when you look at the schedule, you look at the Bears, Packers coming up, the Saints, these two guys are going to be the biggest pivotal piece to it. And I think Amon-Ra St. Brown, and in the chat too, if you guys feel the same way, I feel like he's really starting to mold into an insane and a really great, not just player, but like a leader on this team. And people are starting to respect him a lot. So we're going to go back-to-back videos here. Let's do the first one is a video here about Dan Campbell speaking about Amon-Ra St. Brown and kind of how he impacts his football team. And then the next one will just be about Jared Goff and kind of his impact as well.
He just continues to make plays. And I've said it before, I've said it again. I mean, he is the most steady, reliable guy that you can find in this league. I mean, I'd love to know somebody that is more reliable than him because I don't know if there is. So he just does what he's supposed to do times 10. And he's productive, he's tough, he's physical, he's a game-changing type player. And it's just, the bigger the moment, the bigger he shows up. He's playing at a high level for us, and we're winning games because of him. So I would say he's certainly up there. I don't know who that would be, but I like our guy. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. We got a quarterback, and thank God we do.
Woo! At the end there, that was my favorite part of all of the videos. Dan Campbell coming out and saying, hey, we've got our quarterback, and I love the fact that we do, and I love Jared Goff. So, hey, this is kind of teasing our next segment here at 8:30 is those two guys right there, and as well as you saw Jared Goff speak about the tackles there. Our next segment that's coming up here at 8:30, we're going to be talking about the contract of those three guys right there, because you saw Dan Campbell say, I love this guy, he wants him here. Amon-Ra St. Brown needs to be here long term. Bro, I thought about this today. Right now, the Detroit Lions have a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. They have a top 5 wide receiver. They have a top 2 tight end. Top 10 running backs in the league. Top 15. 2 top 15 running backs, basically.
And the top duo.
The top duo. You have the number 1 offensive line. You have backups. You have a great number 2 wide receiver, a great number 3. You have Donovan Peoples-Jones coming in. You have backup offensive linemen. Like,
you might have the best backup quarterback in the league.
With Teddy Bridge. Like, you have that offense right now is so stacked. If you can somehow find a way to keep most of these guys on this team for the next 2 or 3 years, they got to do it. That's what we're talking about. 8:30. wild, bro.
It is wild. You got to keep them.
Back years top.
You got to keep
5
them.
offenses.
You know what would help keeping them all around? If you tell them that Ben Johnson's going to be sticking around for 2 or 3 more years because the Ford family decided to unload the checkbooks and maybe making him offer he can't refuse. I don't know if that's going to happen, but you were right, man. This offense is stacked. They just got to play a full, complete game. The defense, even with the signing of Bruce Irvin, I think people still have some questions. It's going to be tough in the playoffs if you don't rush the passer, but we'll see. You got a comment before we get to break?
Yeah, and we saw what happens when this offensive line is actually healthy. We know the kind of draft capital that this team put into this offensive line. It was 3 first-rounders and 2 third-rounders, and you're seeing what a healthy O-line actually looks like, and it's so great that this Detroit team built from the inside out for the first time. And
built for tough.
Built extremely for tough, and you're seeing that we are on pace for a 1 or a 2 seed right now. That's what happens when you get your O-line back healthy. They look dominant.
For all those people, too, that want the 2 seed, if you get a 1 seed and you have a couple injuries on your offensive line, look what this last bye week just did for your offensive line. You got every single player back.
Those people don't hear that stuff, though.
No.
I tried to spit that knowledge.
Hey, man, I put out some text messages. I went back and forth. I didn't even get some replies after a little bit because I think I was spitting too many facts.
Yeah, maybe they'll listen to you after the next Lions game.
Post-game show. Let me tell you, when we come back, we're going to break down some of these contracts. The 3 main players on this offense. I don't want to say main because they're all really great, but 3 big-time players, captains on this team. We're going to break down their contracts real quick and tell you what they should do with that. But the Lions post-game show. Make sure you guys tune in directly after every single Lions game. Preferably, it'll be every single win that they'll be on there, locked in. That is Maz and Stick. They will be there. There will be special guests throughout the year as well. Nick is on there doing sound sometimes. Jalen's done TD. Our crew's been there. I'm always doing the Kool-Aid celebrations after, and that is all right after every Lions game on the Woodward Sports Network, YouTube network.
Yes, and then when you're buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. So sellers, how would you like the opportunity to cancel your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? That's exactly what you can do with the Mark White & Associates minute-by-minute listing agreement offer. So visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242, markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then, she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Just in time for football. Glorious. Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good it's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in the honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you're missing out. So smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Check them out online at www.gloriouscanna.com.
Nick.
All right, welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Booner.
Shout out.
And that is Broder. This is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Appreciate all of you guys locking in with us. Jalen in the TD booth, as always. Nick in the sound booth, as always. Except for the concert night last night. He was out there having a great time, headbanging and stuff. I need to go to a concert.
Headbanging to Jay Zucks.
Yeah, that would be great. I might go to a concert and just do a video like that, like a comedy video, and just go out to some weird like.
You're gonna Blink 182 in a couple weeks, right?
When is that?
No, that's like in the summer, but I got those to potentially flip TBH,
Gotcha.
which I'll probably get roasted for, but don't hate the player, hate the game.
Hey, Green Day will be in concert next year at Comerica Park.
Next year?
I will go.
Next year?
2024.
Just wake me up when December ends.
September.
September?
Yeah.
Shit.
Booner,
Dang.
come on. Wake me up when September ends.
Yeah,
Is it
he said
September?
He said December.
Why the hell would they make a song about September? There's
That's my
already one.
birthday.
There's already one about September.
Do you remember?
Yeah, a little Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah, hey, if you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys hit that like button for us. Let's get over 75 by the end of this one. We're chasing 115. I think the heavies got to 115. We're battling it out with them right now. It's like a heavyweight match, literally a heavyweight match.
Yeah.
Well, light heavyweight and heavyweights. But let's get into this, Broder.
This guy.
This
Let's talk to me about these contracts. I gotta hear about this. We gotta craft this perfect offense.
Yeah, it hit me out of nowhere. You're going to have to re-sign some of these guys. If you don't know already, when you have a rookie, like a guy in a rookie deal, he's able to get extended after the game after his third season ends. So Penei Sewell is eligible to get extended. Yeah. So like a guy like a first rounder like Penei Sewell, you could pick up his 5th-year option. And I believe you can either do that or you can extend him. Amon-Ra St. Brown, who was late rounds, he's done. Like
he's only got 4 years.
He's got
contract.
1 more year left after this year, but he's eligible to get extended. As soon as they end their last game this season, you're able to extend him. So that's kind of what we're going to get into. I think there's 3 main guys this offseason that you can look at. Jonah Jackson, obviously, and we could talk about that down the line. I do believe that he might not end up getting.
Yeah, he's an important piece. We'll talk about it. I'll weasel him in. I don't want to get in your rhythm, but that's a big decision, and he's a very important piece. But he might be a little too expensive.
So let's go player by player then, real quick. Let's start with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Is that cool?
Yes.
Let's do that. So basically, I'm going to just break this contract down a little bit, tell him where his cap hit is and what his market value at the moment is. And I do want to do something real quick. Sorry, Broder.
No.
I wanted to look at these contracts here of other people too, and I forgot to pull up the number here. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, he currently right now he's on contract for this year and next year, and that is it. He's done. There's no 5th-year option for him. The craziest thing about him is he's a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL right now. Cap hit of $1.1 million this year. Next year, a cap hit of $1.2 million.
Wow.
So if you don't believe that, like Amon-Ra St. Brown and his agent will be talking with Brad Holmes when it comes end of February, whenever the Detroit Lions win a Super Bowl, they're going to go right to his office, I bet you, the next day and say, hey, listen, I need $25 million a year. And there it is. That's the market for him. I looked it up on Spotrac or SpotTrack, whatever it is. His market value that they have projected is about 24 point something million dollars, $25 million. That's what you're going to have to pay for an Amon-Ra St. Brown, Broder. I'm going to give you a couple examples. Devontae Adams right now, average per year, $28 million. Tyreek Hill, $30. A.J. Brown, $25. Amari Cooper, $20. Stephon Diggs, $24. Mike Evans, $16.5. Cooper Kupp, $26. And Keenan Allen at $20. So and DK Metcalf, $24.
Wow.
So you're going to have to get Amon-Ra St. Brown about $24 million. I'm sure you're going to say, yep, lock that in.
Yeah. Remember how fast Brad Holmes ran to the podium, the hypothetical podium, when Aiden Hutchinson was left on the board from the Jacksonville Jaguars? I think you run with the check faster to Amon-Ra St. Brown, whatever he asked for. Not literally whatever he asked for, but if you can get him for $24 million a year, some of those other top guys are a little closer to 30, maybe Keenan Allen's 20, you do it. You do it. You don't have as much leverage because he's only got a 4-year contract because he was drafted in the 4th round. So there might be a little less negotiating you can do with him, but you sign that boy up. I think Brad Holmes, he knows what he has in Amon-Ra St. Brown, and they're going to lock him up as long term as they can.
Yeah, I think you have to, and I think that's one of the guys. And these 3 guys that we're going to be talking about, these 3 guys. Like I truly believe, Broder, this is your core foundation.
Yes,
you have to have Amon-Ra St. Brown. You just saw in the video. Oh my gosh, the video that he put out there. Do you guys remember the end of it?
Of what?
What he said. He was like, I just love playing this offense. I love being a part of this team. I love being here.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just right there shows me that maybe he will take 23. Maybe he'll take 22. Maybe he'll do, you see Mike Evans sitting there at 18.5 or 19.5. Maybe he'll go a little lower than the 25. The only bad part about that is he just hasn't gotten paid yet. He's been making only $1 million a year for the last 3 years, and he's been one of the best wide receivers in the NFL for the last 2 of them.
J-Mo makes more in 1 year of his contract than Amon-Ra St. Brown does in the entirety of his 4-year contract.
Jeez.
Real quick, fellas, he's been just starting to get those sponsorships. Amon-Ra St. Brown has.
Facts, you're
he's
right.
in the Cure Auto insurance. Shout out.
I saw
Kate
Kroger.
Got Old
for that.
Spice, Kroger.
So
Spice.
good for him for starting to get some recognition, but I think he will go for the bag boon, which he 100% deserves.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't gotten paid.
He 100% does, and I think I think it's just one of those things where Brad Holmes. I think this is the reason why he's like, we're not going to go get a Montez Sweat.
100%.
We're not going to go trade Chase Young when you know you have to probably re-sign him. We're not going to go out there and trade for a Mike Evans and put that on the deal or on our books. Like Brad Holmes is very smart. Now that we're starting to get closer to this towards the end of the year, and I'm sure all the listeners, you guys kind of had a little idea that this was coming. Those are him and Panay are 2 guys that you have to extend at the end of this year.
Yeah.
You don't have to because you can have them next year, but if you want to keep them around, you probably should.
And re-signing Amon-Ra St. Brown, re-signing these guys allows you to be creative in your own way with their contracts in terms of how you structure them over the course of the lifetime of the contract. Where if you're trading for Mike Evans or anybody, you're stuck in the contract that they signed with that team, whatever cap hits come along with that. So this is just a way more strategic way to continue your plan. And you're right, maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown does take a tiny, tiny bit less, which I would never ask another man to do, but maybe he does to stay in this. No, you don't. What are you laughing at? You're gonna tell someone to take $millions less? I'm not taking $1 million less if I was in position.
I will tell Jared Goff too, but we can talk about that in a minute.
But we're doing Penny.
We're doing Penny. Let's do Penny real quick. So Penny Sewell, he is signed right now through 2023, 2024 on his rookie deal. He is able to get that 5th-year option in 2025. That is an option for him. So I don't know how that works. Like that's something I guess I have to do my homework on more. If anyone in the chat kind of has a little bit more knowledge on that, I don't know what that price would be. I don't know if that'll end up being his price now, but this year he's a $6.5 million cap hit. Next year, a $7 million cap hit.
Yeah.
And obviously, same with Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's not as like crazy from $1 million to $25 million, but he's still getting around 6.5, 7 to where, like Trent Williams, this has been a conversation on BDE. Is Panay better than Trent Williams right now? Trent Williams gets $23 million a year. So this is a conversation with Panay to where he might end up, like you said it yesterday, he might change the market.
He's going to. He should. In fact, they should offer him that contract, whatever the highest paid offensive lineman is in the league after this season. They should take a page out of the Atlanta Braves book, going and finding their guys, drafting their guys, developing them, and signing them to long-term contracts a year or 2 before they're set to become free agents or set to get that monster contract. If you sign him to the league's best offensive lineman contract next year for however long it's going to be, within 12 months, he'll not be the highest paid. Like
100%.
Get him signed as long as you can and
quarterbacks.
work around. You're telling me that you don't want to build around Penei Sewell. You build around that man. Your identity is the offensive line. Your identity is Penei Sewell. You keep him for whatever it takes.
I want to see in the chat if you guys can put in there.
Let him cook.
Just throw in there. How much are you willing to how much do you think Penei Sewell will get per year? Trent Williams right now.
Is he the highest paid?
Trent Williams is the highest paid offensive lineman at 23.
He's higher than
that's what I'm looking at right now.
Houston Texans bong mask Laramie Tunsil.
I might be looking at a wrong list here, maybe.
I think Laramie Tunsil set the market again this past year.
Oh, you know what?
Taylor Lewan
Laramie
did it.
Tunsil is $25 million. Yep. Andrew Thomas 23.5. Trent Williams 23. Yep. So he did reset the market. Sorry, it was the reason I had it set as total contract value.
Yeah.
So Trent Williams was 6 years for $138 million. That was the most total money. But yeah, I'm. You know what I'm sitting at here, brother?
What are you sitting at?
This is what you do.
What do you do?
Maybe $26 million. Let's see. What is it? $26 million times 6 years.
Booner, hear me out here.
150.
I think Panay's like 12 years younger than Trent Williams, or like 10 years younger than Trent Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Too. So I think he might even like 28, 29. Like,
yeah, whatever's more than.
Let's say 27.
Tunsil.
Let's go 27. $162 million a year. Go give Penei Sewell 6 years, 162, 165.
Yeah.
Lock him in for that, and let's move on.
That's why you might do it this after year 3. Say, hey, you're a $30 million offensive lineman. You're a $30 million tackle
sounds like so
because you
much.
can play both sides. Hey, we'll sign you to this long extension right now. Set your family up for life for 27 if we give it to you after your third year and not your fourth year. You're only saving $3 or $4 million, but that could, as soon as the market continues to grow, that extends. That becomes a much bigger deal 2, 3, 4 years down the line when he's up. He's more of a veteran, and you can now sign other guys around him.
I'm seeing some 26 millions. I'm seeing some 25, 24. I'm seeing a lot of everything here. I think that's what you do. I think you go between 25, 28 million dollars. Say, hey, we're going to give you this a year. You're going to be the highest paid one when you sign the contract. Because you don't want to go up to like 30 and just like break the whole you know what I mean? You still want to be around. You don't want to go that much over the top one, but you want to say, hey, Laremy Tunsil got 25. We'll give you 25 or 26 a year, and we'll give you 6 years. Because Laremy Tunsil only got 3 years. We'll give you 6 years like Trent Williams, and we'll talk about it in 3 or 4 more years if you continue and do that. But I think sitting there at 26 million, he'll be the highest paid. Other people might pass him up, and then you can kind of renegotiate in a few years.
Dude needs to be your shoot, I just had a thought.
Agent?
No, I don't know. You need to build around Penne.
I see what you're saying. I thought you wanted me to be his agent.
No. I had something else. I thought I forgot what I was going to say, but the generality of it is sign the man. It's your identity. He needs
to be the heart and the captain of that offensive line for years to go.
You don't nickel and dime him.
5, 6. No, none of these guys I think we're talking about, or at least these first two, you do not nickel and dime.
Where you start thinking about it is with your quarterback.
And that's the next one here.
Do you want to do that after the break? After the break. I'm going to tell you about Feldman first. We're going to talk about Jared Goff's contract out of the break because Feldman Chevrolet, since 1996, the Lions hadn't won a playoff game since this time, too. Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience. They call it the Feldman Advantage. They got 18 locations, so there's got to be a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Just visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Also, catch Woodward Sports Network live next Monday and every other Monday at the Feldman Chevrolet of Novi. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
And then after you go get a car, go get some defense. That is Guardian Alarm. It is customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians, they take the time. They recommend security and automation solutions that are specific to all of your guys' needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. You can give them a call anytime, day or night, and make sure Guardian Alarm will have a team member that stays on the phone with you for the whole time. That is technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that has been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Make sure you guys call the number right there, 1-800. Stay out!
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness! Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Packing Company has been providing Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, dry aged beef, and Wagyu beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Just visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks or order online at fairwaypacking.com.
All right, welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. What a new beat. I feel like I'm in a fishbowl with that. Oh,
hey, little guy.
It is like a little. There's like a little. Oh, that's not fish up there. That is a fish.
That's a bird, a fish, a dog, and another dog.
No, that's a cat. The white one's a cat.
White one's a cat. Yeah. And it's a leopard.
All right.
Get that bird.
All right, welcome back again. If you guys haven't yet, hit that like button for us. Let's get. We're far from 75. 75. We were gonna hit that at the end of the next segment. If you guys hit 75, Broder will chug a drink of Kool-Aid.
No, I won't.
Yeah, he will. He said he's gonna drink some Kool-Aid for you guys.
No, I won't.
Smack that like button
I'll throw
for
a
us.
curveball at the TV.
Okay, you guys heard it. Let's get 150 and he'll throw a curveball right at the camera. Deal?
I don't know if I can make that deal.
All right, yeah, that's fair. That's a lot of money. Hey, we're going to keep getting into this, though.
Yeah.
Jared Goff contract. This is the last conversation we had here. We're going to go over a little bit on this. But I think this is a fair thing to have. I think the heavyweights talked about the Jared Goff contract a little. A morning show might have as well. But we had all these contracts on our list here to do. Right now, he's a cap hit of about $31 million this season. But what I did, Broder, and I think as well, at 2023 is $31 million as well. What I did, though, on Spot Track, you can go look at the market value of players, Broder. Mm-hmm. And it basically breaks down 3 or 4 players that are in the same statistical category as him, around the same age and kind of contract status. They take everything and put it together. Jared Goff's average annual salary for his calculated market value comes out to $38.8 million on Spot Track.
That's what they say his estimated
value is
of the next contract
value,
like what he's worth. Yes. Interesting.
Now that I feel like that's way off. It says here market value, NFL ranked 11th, quarterback ranked 11th. So I mean, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, 50 million, and it sounds like, you know what I think's really happened here with this whole thing?
What?
This Daniel Jones contract really screwed up a lot of things.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, he didn't just screw over the New York Jets and do what he did to the New York Jets. He's screwing over the whole league and the whole contracts, every single GM around the NFL that has a quarterback like Jared Goff, because now you have to sit there and you have to go, okay, we have to pay our quarterback that much money now. You have to pay him $45 million.
And you got to give some credit to the massage man himself, Deshaun Watson, for screwing up everything first. But you're right. Daniel Jones didn't help it, especially with his play this year. The Giants have they've been a bad team that's in trouble because they gave him this contract. Like, we're seeing the after effects of the problems that could come by signing a quarterback to a contract too much and them not performing or getting hurt, and you just not having the capital to go and make something else of your team, to make some changes, because it's all tied up in your quarterback that nobody wants.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm just looking at it here. Trying to get my Neil bag.
Would you look at it? Just look at it.
I know you guys call me Neil's little son or stepson or whatever it is, but
no, his soft feet.
Neil's soft feet, great commenter, by the way. But Derek Carr here. Derek Carr's sitting at $37.5 million. I'm not saying Derek Carr's the same as Jared Goff. Jared Goff to me is way better than Derek Carr.
What year did that contract? When did he get that extension?
Well, he just re-signed with the Saints. So
okay.
Actually, yeah. He signed a 4-year, $150 million deal with the New Orleans Saints.
And he's making $38 million a year.
And it comes out cap hit 7, 35, 40. So the cap hit always is kind of.
Dude, if you could get that contract for Jared Goff, you take it.
Yeah, I think so. If you could sign him for 4 years, $150 million. That's what. Is that right there? Let me do my math here.
Yeah, it's 40, 81, 21. It's about
37 and a half. Math adds up.
Yeah.
No math, it does all work.
Not a chance he signs for that, boys.
No, he won't. Well, that's the whole point to this, is that Daniel Jones signed for 40. What was it? $40 million. Deshaun Watson 46, Kyler Murray 46, Russell Wilson 48 a year. So like, these guys set the market. Like, Derek Carr signed this year for 37.5 because he was kind of a mid-tier quarterback that got cut. But the way Jared Goff's playing, it's going to have to end up being over that $40 million. Matthew Stafford's sitting at 40, and that was a couple years ago.
It has to. He deserves it, especially with the contracts going up. Maybe, this would be great if Jared Goff could be the quarterback that sort of instead of resets it, like resettles it, maybe a 45, 42. I think he's gonna be looking closer to 50, and that's a little steep for me. And you know how much of a Jared Goff supporter I am. I love him for this team. I think he's perfect, but I think we just talked about locking 55 million up in Penei Sewell and Amon St. Brown.
Those two guys are different though. Those are going to be all pro players.
That's what I'm
Jared
saying.
Goff won't be. So like, look at I'm going to name these players for you guys real quick.
Name
players that are $50 million a year: Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and I believe Patrick Mahomes now.
Yeah.
So what people are trying to tell me is Jared Goff is in that list to where he Like realistically,
I know open the show. With
I know we talk about. I know what we talk about and what we do. But like we as well talk about how there's the elite quarterbacks that has an arm and can be mobile and they win you games and you don't need players around them, but they can just do it themselves. And then you have Jared Goff who can play elite and he does different things to be elite, but he's not that elite.
He needs, and this isn't a negative on Jared Goff, but he needs that offensive line built.
Yes.
He needs a certain type of weapons or a certain amount of weapons. That's, again, nothing against him, but I hope he realizes, or his agent realizes it, for him to be successful, he need what better situation?
Said that.
Yeah, what better situation could you be in than being behind the Detroit Lions offensive line? I would probably consider taking a couple $1 million less to be behind that offensive line if Philly wasn't looking for a quarterback or San Francisco was. Oh shit, San Francisco. They might be looking for a quarterback.
But the thing is like he can't just go out. Like I think that a lot of people are like, I think the heavies talked about it. Nick, you're on the heavies. They were talking about how another team could come in and just pay him more. Like I don't think we understand. He's on another. He's got
another year.
He has another year on his contract. And then if that does happen. You probably don't want to franchise tag him because the average salary of the top quarterbacks in the league is a lot. But like if you have to, you do it for a year and then extend.
Yeah.
Like you can't. Like it's just not like, hey, the San Francisco 49ers need a quarterback. They're going to outbid you. You have another year with him.
Right.
He whether you get the deal done or not, he's going to be here another year.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, we have all the power.
Yes. And that's why, Nick, I heard you say it on the heavyweights that you want to wait till the playoffs. I do disagree with that, though, because, like, if you get to the playoffs and we do what we think we can do, the Detroit Lions can do, go win a playoff game, make a run at it, especially if you get the number 1 seed.
Yeah, baby.
If you get the number 1 seed, the Detroit Lions have a path, and we've talked about the path. You have 2 home games, and you only have to play the 49ers or Eagles one time in the championship game. If that happens, you're paying Jared Goff $50-55 million no matter what. There is no chance that you can sit down with his agent, look him in the eyes, and say, can we do 45? Zero chance.
I don't think there's a chance you can do it now, though.
Yeah, 100%
these are astronomically low numbers that you're putting up right now, Booner.
They're not. Russell Wilson's getting $45 million a year.
Oh, that's okay. All right.
The only people
I thought you were talking about like the.
I'm talking about 45. I'm not talking about 38, 40. Okay. No, I'm talking about 45. But my thing is, and to your point, I heard you on the heavies, and I didn't want to, because I knew we had this coming up as a segment, is it's better to do it now. It's better to sign Jared Goff now.
Booner, what if we have to go on the road to Philly, to San Fran,
you're still
and
gonna
Jared
have
Goff chokes in those games?
You're going to resign Jared Goff no matter what. Can we agree on that? He's going to be resigned no matter what, correct?
If he,
you guys are believing now.
If he does very, very poorly,
he's 15-4 in his last 19 games. I think it's like.
I don't think it's a no matter what scenario. What if he tries to reset the market? Like I
think Jared Goff will not reset the market. Jared Goff will not be that guy to reset the market. Patrick Mahomes is that type of guy to do that. Penei Sewell is that guy. Trent Williams is that type of guy. Tyreek Hill, what he did in Miami, he's a guy to reset the market.
It's going to be a really fascinating negotiation because of it.
If they lose, you get them at 45.
All the details play into like different areas of this negotiation in terms of age, length, the cost to re-sign him. I'll go back to it. I just hope he realizes like the value of being on a team, taking a little bit less as a quarterback.
How do we not realize like it's a win-win situation to re-sign him now? Like if you sign him now, you're signing what, $45 million, right? If you can get that, if you go and lose in the playoff game, lowest you're gonna get him for is $45 million. The only loss out of this whole thing is that the Detroit Lions go and win. You're gonna have to pay an extra $5 to $8 million a year. Like right now, he's at his lowest, and if he loses, you're still gonna have to pay this lowest right now. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, am I crazy for that?
No, you're not. That does, and I'm just playing devil's advocate because I haven't made my decision on him yet because I'm more in the roll with Hendon Hooker or roll with a young contract and continue to build in the trenches. But I wouldn't be disappointed if they re-signed Jared Goff. Where was I going with that? They need to just went right over my head again.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I talked myself out of it, but shoot. It's gone.
Jay, what do you think about it?
Sorry.
I was an advocate like 2 months ago. I want him here for the long run. I've stood on that. When he F's up, I've stood on it. I like you guys were like kind of like on the fence about it early because don't get it twisted. We haven't won shit, but with him, we've won something. We won some games, whatever. Like he's gonna be that dude We've seen him go back and forth with the best of the best possibly sometimes. We've seen him do, like, I'm not going to say Justin Herbert's the best of the best, but for a high-powered offense, he was going back and forth. Jared Goff can answer the call when you need him to. I just feel like, what's the point of, like, I've never liked Hendon Hooker. I never believed it. I never thought that he was going to ever take a snap with us. I still don't to this day. So I just don't see what else could you go out there and get instead of Jared Goff, because you're not getting Lamar, Josh Allen, or freaking Pat Mahomes or Tua. So, like, what do you want to do? You want to just trust
JJ McCarthy?
I mean, yeah, that'd be cool too. If you got JJ, but it's like Jared Goff.
There's no
it's
way.
Funny to say, he's a damn winner.
I don't want to hear JJ McCarthy.
He's a freaking winner, dude. Jared Goff is not a losing quarterback.
No, he's not.
We had a bad team the first year, but, like, look at when you get a team. That's anybody in life. You have a bad team, you're gonna lose. Flat the hell out.
Yeah, JJ Broder. I don't want to hear you say that again.
Well, it's just a little, ad lib.
I want a defensive lineman or an offensive lineman in the first round this year.
I'm with you there.
Well, I don't care about
Give me
JJ
some of
McCarthy.
that.
We'll find Hendon Hooker is like plan B. Like, he's the backup plan. Like, if Jared Goff didn't end up going 7-2 to start this year, and we ended up having a bad year and things didn't kind of turn out like the second half of last year, that was the Hendon Hooker to where, hey, we have him. Now we just have him as our backup. Teddy's only going to be here for a year. Hendon's your backup next year. He's that backup plan.
What I was going to say real quick, if Jared Goff does play well in the playoffs and leads them to the NFC Championship game or the Super Bowl or whatever, that also raises his trade value. And there's a guy out in Denver, a guy like Sean Payton, looking for the next Drew Brees. I don't think Russell Wilson is his guy. I don't know if he can get rid of Russell Wilson, but there are things that Jared Goff will be a wanted player. He's a wanted quarterback. The things he does, someone will want to sign him to just about whatever he is asking. Sean Payton might be one of those guys.
He might be. Hey, let's do this. Let's hit break. Let's push everything back one segment, Broder.
Okay.
Well, let's go into, after this, we're going to go into this coaching carousel. Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell, kind of an Aaron Glenn type of deal here.
This is interesting.
It is. There's a couple things on here. I know you wanted to talk about it a little bit.
You put together a thought-provoking rundown. There's a lot of thought happening here. I think that's why it's all leaving my head. It's putting too much thought
Too many things going on at once?
No. I think it's great.
All right.
I like it.
All right, let me tell you guys about Planet Fitness. When we come back, we'll talk about the coaches. Planet Fitness, it is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. They let me in there, and I don't get judged. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, full body workouts in just 30 minutes, and all of those memberships include fitness training. That is all for just $10 a month, no commitment. Now make sure you guys go there to Planet Fitness, $10 a month. Don't want to miss out. You might see me, you might see Broder there, you might see one of the boys there. That is over at Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
When it comes to your pet, don't settle. Give your pet the best. That means going to Premier Pet Supply because they are hands down Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. They got 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food, lowest prices, and curbside home delivery. Again, Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com. Yeah. Hoorah. Hoorah.
Yeah, baby. Football. We are back. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Look at this, baby. See this? The Detroit Lions are playing for one of these this year. That is a fact. They're playing for one of these trophies this year. Not Ben Wallace. He already has a trophy and a championship. We're talking about the Detroit Lions, who have yet to win a Lombardi trophy. They are playing for one this year, and we're locked in all season long, all year long. 365. Are we a 365-day-a-week show? No, we're not. Our year.
365 days a week?
A year. I mean, yeah. I apologize.
No, we're like 5 days a week.
We do have Thanksgiving off.
We got Woodward and Maine Thanksgiving morning at 7 a.m.
Pregame show. I'll be on the pregame show. And little fun fact here, if you guys are watching and didn't know this, for the stream, Nick, I don't know if you'll be at the game.
I'm always at Thanksgiving game.
Okay, Broder.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Will you be at the game?
Yeah. It's gonna be
okay, I'm just out here right now. It's just, as of right now, the live stream, the watch party, it's going to be one of the funniest ones I think yet. I think it's just me and D-Mac. I think it's literally just going to be me and D-Mac. D-Mac said he's bringing in a Thanksgiving dinner for us. I've been trying to ask around to see if there's anyone that is going to come to the watch party, and I just keep getting no's. So I think it's going to be a two-man show. Maybe on the thumbnail it'll just be me and D-Mac with Jared Goff in the middle, and you guys can tune in and watch us watch the game together.
And you in an Avalanche jersey with Lemieux on the back.
I will not be doing that.
Yep.
I wear the same exact outfit to every game that we've won so far this year, so I will stick with my superstitions.
All right. I can't come. The last one I was at was the Baltimore Ravens game.
Yeah,
so
you're no longer invited.
I'm outie.
Yeah, you're out the rest of the
Tell
year.
these people something they don't know about me.
Oh, Broder, stop it.
Dude, I had to.
It was a bad
Not
loss.
that one. We need you at some of the live streams.
I don't know, because if he comes back and it's another loss, that's on him again.
That's what they said about me going to an away game, but we won in Tampa. So
that's true.
You remember?
All right. Hey, make sure if you guys haven't yet, hit that like button for us. Let's get to 100 likes. Get to 100 likes for me and D-Mac on Thanksgiving. Little Thanksgiving celebration there. I can't wait to do that. That is actually an unreal situation to be able to watch the game, Thanksgiving game, have a little dinner with D-Mac there, and then after that, go see my family. Uncle Neil Soft Feet Booner, do you have any family? You can come Thanksgiving at my house if you want. Uncle Neil Soft Feet, I do have family. I actually have, my parents are split up, so I have two different sides of the family, and every year it's like I don't know which one to go to, so I'm going to do the stream, and then I'm going to go home and have some leftover Thanksgiving, most likely. I might go see my other side as well this weekend before that. So, yeah, there's that. Let's talk about it. Coaches, though.
Yes.
Coaching carousel. There's a lot of things happening with that. Obviously, Broder, Sunday, as much as we don't want to say it, that was part of Ben Johnson's interview. And then I don't know if you guys have seen today and yesterday, Ben Johnson has been all over the sports news. Good Morning Football, ESPN first. He has been over everything.
He's not a secret anymore at all.
People are talking about him. He was literally the coach of the week on Good Morning Football this week. Out of every head coach, they picked Ben Johnson, the OC in Detroit. So after watching yesterday, and I heard Lucas mention it today as well, kind of in a joking matter, Sean McDermott gets fired in Buffalo, and I hate to say this, that's the number one spot for Ben Johnson. And
with Josh Allen. How long is Josh Allen signed for? He's got a couple more years?
To be honest, I don't know, but I think if Ben Johnson goes there, that offense changes very quick. Extremely quick. And that ends
to a
up
run
being,
game.
They end up figuring run first, and then you can take care of Josh. Imagine we talked about this. Neil literally said, how would Josh Allen look in this Detroit Lions offense? Mm-hmm. Not as good as Jared Goff. If Sean McDermott gets fired at the end of the year, you're literally going to see that. Ben Johnson will go straight to Buffalo. That is a Booner lock guarantee. Wow. If Sean McDermott gets fired there at the end of the year, that is the Ben Johnson job. Not Los Angeles, not the Patriots. It will be the Buffalo Bills.
Interesting. It's a good football fit, and this has nothing to do with football, but and no offense to people from Buffalo, it's just not a really appealing place to want to go. And it might, I'm sure it is different in the football worlds and the players and coaches, but if you have other options available to go out west, to go down south, you do it. I mean, he's from Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina. Yeah. He played football at North Carolina, so he may be keeping an eye on some of those, I know we talked about the Bears.
That was the one that I was actually really more worried about.
Maybe the Titans. I hope he. Good point. I hope he goes to Buffalo so he stays away from the Bears and from Minnesota.
He's in the AFC.
Actually, Minnesota's not an option, but maybe Matt LaFleur. I mean, people are talking about him being on the hot seat. I don't think so.
Don't talk about those SVSU grads like that.
Yeah, the Law and Order SVSU.
Yep.
Dun-dun.
Hey, the end of this poll real quick. When do you guys want to re-sign Jared Goff? 44% of the chat said right now. 41% said after the season, and 15% said next year. I'm going to end that. I want to do a new poll here.
Cool. What do you think about the Patriots if Bill Belichick doesn't come back?
Did you hear? I heard today Dan Orlovsky came out and said that the Patriots right now, Bill Belichick has a spot to go to where he right away would be the coach and the GM. It's kind of locked in. It's like if he does end up leaving the Patriots, he already has a spot open for him and ready to roll. I don't know where it is. Dan Orlovsky would not say it, but he said that he heard that was
Washington.
Let's go around the room, boys. Quick first thought.
Washington.
Boone.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go with the Bills. I've seen them absolutely destroy them. I mean, besides the past 4 years with Josh Allen,
That's a good point.
For 20 years before that.
That's a good point.
For 30 years, I think it could easily be the Bills.
Hold on, I'm looking right now.
They've just been clowned for decades.
Oh, actually, this is one. This is a big one.
Yeah, I won't see it.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
The Raiders.
Oh yeah,
that actually is like a Bill Belichick. I know they just had Josh McDaniels. They might not want to go back to that. But Mark Davis, you know how he is. You know how he wants to kind of go out there, spend some money. That might be a position for him.
If good old Jimmy Harbs doesn't go there.
Come on, man. We do have, next segment, we have some breaking news. Broder, our own Broder, insider, Michigan insider now. This man does everything. He's on the beat report for every single sport. He actually spoke with someone from the Big Ten. And he has gotten some insider information, and Broder put out some breaking news today. So we're talking about that next segment. Yeah. And it's blowing up. So our own Woodward Nights, hey, we've got some things cooking here. We're not the crumbs as people think we are.
Let him cook. Some crumb cake. What do you think for Ben Johnson? Can I throw out a couple teams, just see what you guys think?
Yeah, actually do that, because while you do that,
okay,
I'm going to put a poll out.
All right, boys. What about any of the two New York teams, the New York Giants or the New York Jets? And this is hypothetically, Dable doesn't make it through the year, maybe goes to the Bills, and Robert Saleh doesn't make it through the year. Are those two that you think he should consider?
I think he definitely should consider the Giants, because I think they'll have a high enough pick, top 5 pick, where he can pick his quarterback with it.
Yes, Nick.
So here, real quick, where do you guys think that Ben Johnson will get a head coaching job? Bills, Bears, where else?
Chargers, maybe?
I saw that, boys. Come on. Chargers. Where else? Patriots?
I'm Connor Stallions.
Is that good?
Patriots, yeah. What would you say?
Pats, yes, for the same reason I just said about the Giants. I think they're going to be picking high enough. Jay, what do you think about the Pats?
For Ben?
For Ben, if they have a top 5 pick.
Maybe. I really want him to go to the Jets, because I want to see him in Aaron Rodgers. I know that's kind of like a little sketchy thing, but I think if he goes over there, they'd probably go to the AFC Championship.
What about this? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't see Robert Saleh leaving the Jets with that injury. I just don't see that.
He's done a pretty good job keeping them afloat.
The Giants,
that's what they want to do.
I think the Giants kind of with the pick and everything. I think that's more so of
thoughtful. You know that meme of the guy
New York market.
Yeah. What if Arthur Smith doesn't make it through the year?
They already said he'll be back.
What?
Yeah.
They already announced it.
Oh, he is coming back?
They said that yesterday. They said Arthur Smith will be returning.
Okay, last two. These are speculations. I don't think it's going to happen. But what if the Bengals don't make the playoffs? Would they ever move on from Zach Taylor specifically to go after Ben Johnson?
No.
You don't think so?
Too similar of coaches, I feel like. Those are two offensive-minded guys. Zach Taylor has taken them to a Super Bowl and an AFC Championship in back-to-back years. This year, it's hard to a guy like that who's done that in 2 years. It's hard to put that on him, to put this shit on him, because they're still kind of in that shot for the playoffs, and they just won 4 straight before they lost this game. But they've had injuries with Joe Burrow to start the year. Jamar Chase has been down a lot. T. Higgins has missed games. They have been beaten up everywhere.
Fair.
I do think some of that, too, comes down to the GM kind of giving them an offensive line and kind of giving them some pieces as well.
True. Yeah, that was what
I like that thought, though.
Think was going to happen.
You're
but
out here thinking.
I'm out here thinking.
You're thinking.
I'm out here thinking because, they got to run into Patrick Mahomes every year. Like, they got to get over the hump at some point. Last one for me. Then, and I see Tennessee in there. I have that actually on my list. I know it just doesn't feel like the perfect marriage, but it might be a job that's open. What if Andy Reid retires?
Bro,
I'm serious. Like he's 65. He's been hinting at it each offseason. Yeah.
I thought he was older than that, respectfully.
Actually, I did too. When I first wrote down Chiefs, I was like, he's got to be 70.
He's had like 2 or 4 different primes, dude.
He's one of the best of all time.
I don't see that happening this year.
All right, I know those are a little out there.
No, that's good. I think it's good to think about some of these outside ones because there are some there are a few that are going to be open. Like that Raiders job potentially could be open.
Yeah.
Like the Chargers could be open. I mean, you can go down the list here. There are going to be openings in the NFL. We did speak a couple weeks ago about how there might be less than there usually are this year, but.
Dude, how sick would it be if just the coaching staff just united and was like, hey, we're coming back. We're all coming back to Detroit. Let's run it back.
Well, E&E talked about that a little bit with the contracts. They were like, why don't you just say, what is Ben Johnson? They probably gave him more money. What he's probably making $1 million right now this year. 1.1 million. Dan Campbell about $4 million.
Mm-hmm.
I think you come down to it at the offseason and say, hey, Dan will give you 10. Ben Johnson will give you 4. We'll put you up to where Dan was before. Dan will double you.
Yeah.
And I think you just stick with that. AG will give you $1 million. I don't know what to do with AG yet.
I think you let him control his own destiny.
I want to see this
right
year
now.
play out.
Yeah. I don't think you need to be in a rush for him.
What you brought up yesterday was perfect, by the way.
He'll be a better head coach than he is a coordinator.
Yes. He is a man of the people. That's who he is. So
yes. So, Boone Dog. Tell me about the Lions pregame and then Hamlin Pub. Then we're going to come back. Got some Michigan football news, possibly.
Breaking news. Insider.
Talk a little bit. We didn't talk about Michigan at all yesterday, so we're going to do a little quick recap of that Penn State game and all the chaos that ensued with Sharon Moore and just there's a lot out there. We're going to chat about it for a couple of minutes before we get to power rankings.
Yes, Lions pregame show. Make sure you guys lock into that. That is the Woodward Sports Lions pregame show from Sundays from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Hosted by Jeff Frady. I am on the show as well with weekly different special guests. I don't know who actually is this Sunday. It is a home game. Not sure. Thursday will be DMAC though for the pregame show. We're breaking down all the injury reports, everything you need for the games. That is on the Woodward Sports YouTube network. And then Hamlin Pub. Make sure you guys, right after the pregame show, you guys head over to Hamlin Pub. If you ever wanted a bar where you are a regular, Hamlin Pub is the place to go. They have 7 locations, and you can experience a place where everyone is a regular. There's half-off pizza on Thursdays. Game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games. Hamlin Pub is the place to be. Make sure you visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
All things.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's Chocolate Peanut Butter Thunder Cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Do you have football on the brain? Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is already awesome. So why don't you shop it like a pro at Swiss Insurance? That's shop your home and auto insurance, because fall is a perfect time to do that. Swiss Insurance is covered Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. So ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or call 248-800-4177. Yep.
Oh,
fight song action?
How about that?
You know what we're getting into.
That threw me off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I was
my
like,
bad, my
I'm
bad.
sitting here. I was waiting for like a beat to drop, and I heard the victors. Let's go. Hey, welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network. It is Woodward Nights, as always, 8 to 10 p.m. on the weekdays. Appreciate all of you guys locking in with us. If you guys haven't yet, hit that like button. Let's get over 100 here before the end of this segment. We need to get to 120 by the end of the show here to beat out the heavyweights, the nighttime. We need to beat them out here. A little competition. It's fun. I love having competition. I think we all grew up on sports. It's a good time to be able to do that.
We're in the sports business. Like, we cover competition. Might as well compete ourselves, with ourselves.
I agree.
Yeah.
Let's get into this, though, Broder. You have kind of breaking news. You have an insider. And I'll let you explain it, too, because you did have a position at Michigan where you worked with the Big Ten a little bit.
Yeah.
And you do know some people at the Big Ten. And you did put out your tweet, kind of some breaking news within the Big Ten. And this was actually shocking. You text me and you were like, I have some news for tonight. Breaking. Let me confirm my sources. And then when you tweeted it out, I was shocked to hear this. I waited to hear your reaction here on the show for me to ask questions. So
just to give a little bit of background on the credibility, because I don't cover Michigan football, I don't cover college football, and I am a former Michigan Wolverine. So there is, there is. Whether I say there's not or whatever, there is some bias to it. So I'm trying to report on this as unbiased as possible. But when I was at Michigan, I was the Big Ten representative from the University of Michigan, the Big Ten student athlete representative to the Big Ten. So a few times a year I'd go with I think there were 12 at the time, maybe 14 other reps from the different schools. Each school picks one student athlete to go represent them at the Big Ten conferences. We meet with all the athletic directors and talk about, important, sometimes boring stuff dealing with the conference. And there was a lot of talk about paying players back then. It was interesting. I learned a lot, but I did develop some relationships from being a part of that Big Ten committee with the Big Ten conference. So I had the chance to speak to someone there, a director level employee, earlier today, and they told me a lot of stuff, but basically the battle between the Big Ten and Jim Harbaugh / Michigan, and actually I should clear, it's more Tony Petitti versus Jim Harbaugh in Michigan. Tony Petitti with pressure from outside sources, other members of the Big Ten. It's getting so bad. There's no way. This is what he or she was saying. There's almost no way that these two can continue on in their leadership positions, Jim Harbaugh as the head football coach of Michigan or Tony Petitti as the commissioner of the Big Ten. And he or she expects some decision to be made in some manner by the national championship game. It might happen sooner, but that national championship game is January 8th. We're going to learn a lot this week. They got the hearing on Friday, the hearing for the TRO that Michigan filed to try the restraining order that they filed against,
which Jim Harbaugh will be at.
Yes, which he will be at, and which evidence will be shared. This is part of the issue, and I'm trying not to get into the issue so you're not seeing what I hope will happen or not. But we're going to learn a lot on Friday. But basically, there's a ton of pressure that Tony Petitti is being put under from other members of the Big Ten, other higher powers. They both don't like how it's turned out. They pushed for this all to happen. They pushed for him to deliver the suspension, at a pretty shady time right when they're on the plane. All of this is very, and I don't have all the details behind it, but it's all very questionable. They want him to go after Jim Harbaugh and to punish the University of Michigan for the sign stealing scandal, but they're now pissed at him for how this has turned into a whole national shit show of who said this, what evidence do we have, due process, everything's in the courts, this is a legal battle now, so it's a complete mess. There's no way that they both can continue in their positions. Whatever that means, however that could happen, it's complicated because Michigan has the right. Jim Harbaugh is an employee of the University of Michigan.
Yes.
Petitti is an employee of the Big Ten Conference, so it's complicated, but there are higher powers at bay here, and as this whole situation has come about, not everything is in the standard boundaries of like the legal system, the rule book. Like we can't expect everybody here to be acting righteously. So there are ways that things can happen. Pressure can be put on different people in different ways.
Yeah, and you know what? To be honest with all of this, and I think, like you said, I think when it comes down to it, if there is someone that ends up losing their job, I think it's Tony Petitti. And I just don't see Jim Harbaugh. And I know there's a situation, but the way that kind of Michigan's going about this and the evidence, like I don't think Santa Ono, I don't think any of these people and the higher powers at Michigan would be sticking up for Jim Harbaugh if they didn't have the evidence of him showing like I didn't know this, or we can't connect me with this. Like I just don't see that happening. Like it's gotten so far into it, and that's where I'm at with it a little bit, to where obviously as a Michigan fan, like the first couple weeks it was like, yeah, I'm going to stick up for Michigan no matter what. It was a joke at first, so you're like, yeah, go blue. But now it's to the point to where it's like Michigan has fought back so much on it to where you kind of have to believe that they're like Jim Harbaugh might not have had anything to do with this. Yes, it may have happened, and Connor Stalions, like that's when, and then he found out probably the same time as all of us. That's where it's starting to feel to me. If I was a biased person on the outside looking in, I'd be like, okay, the way that Michigan's fighting this back, like if they knew he did this and this was on him, there is no way they would be fighting back as hard as they would. They would not get in a legal battle with Tony Petitti on this. They would not get in a battle to where it ends up coming down to one of their jobs.
Yeah.
In that case. So like,
and that's what it's come to. It's now Michigan, and again, unbiased, Michigan now is using just the process that Tony Petitti and the Big Ten have handled this. The way they've handled this is now what they're fighting. It's now become more than Connor Stalions, more than Jim Harbaugh stealing signs. Now it's about, okay, there is a vendetta. Why are you doing this to us? Why are you suspending our coach when the NCAA hasn't finished their investigation? When you don't have the proper evidence? We had due process. Like there's a whole nother side to this, and they just gave Michigan a bunch of ammo to fight this that has nothing to do with sign stealing and being on the football. It has to do with how the Big Ten has treated Michigan, and that's where it's a hard battle for the Big Ten to fight now. And I thought in Michigan they've got some artillery behind them, both with Michigan and the Regents and the Alumni Network, but they've got 3 different law firms representing them. A national one from here in Birmingham. Yeah, one from here in Birmingham, and then one in Ann Arbor. They're fighting this tooth and nail. I thought, and I was waiting to report this, and I'm glad I didn't, I thought that the Big Ten was going to pull another shady move and try to delay this hearing on Friday. Because when in most situations when a case is made against the Big Ten, who's the defendant in Michigan, hypothetically this is the University of Michigan, which is in Michigan. It's now in the Washtenaw County courts. Technically, or before we get to a couple details, the Big Ten could remove that case from state court and have it held automatically in federal court. So they want it to be heard by a judge, a jury, however it ends up outside of the state of Michigan. There are some rules and regulations to it, the diversity of their residents. Michigan, though, being a public university, they're considered an arm of the state of Michigan, which is not a citizen of Michigan. So they're not technically, it can't be moved to federal court, basically, is what I'm saying. And this is all lawyer legal jargon.
A lot of stuff that I'm not that smart, but I can understand a little bit.
Yeah, so I can't get too deep in it, like literally vocabulary. I don't understand much deeper, but there were ways that they were going to be able to delay this past Friday. It can't happen anymore because of the language that Michigan put in their TR, their restraining order against the Big Ten. And just to clarify, too, real quick, a restraining order against Tony Petitti and the Big Ten, this is just a restraining order on the decision that they made to suspend him. So it's not like the Big Ten Conference or Tony Petitti has to stay 200 feet away at all times from Jim Harbaugh. It's okay, hold on this decision to suspend him. You can't do that yet until we get through the court process. That's the restraint.
Yeah, this just seems like it's getting in too big of a mess. At the end of the day, like I hate that Michigan's going through this, and I keep seeing these national media, Stephen A. Smith, Jim Feinbaum, I see these people kind of talking about it, and like Stephen A. saying that Michigan shouldn't be allowed to play in the college football playoffs. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous shit. Jeff Saturday today was sticking up for him. We've seen Desmond Howard stick up for Michigan. We've seen a lot of different people. Dan Orlovsky has. A lot of people have. It seems like the more logical people have. I just don't see a world to where it's like, hey, they can't play in the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
But kind of how this legal stuff's happening here, if that... I'm going to be shocked if Jim Harbaugh loses his job over this. I will be very, very shocked. I don't see how that happens. Can that happen legally, or does that happen? Because doesn't he have to? He's employed by the school, so the school would have to fire him in that case, correct? Yeah, so like at that point, but I think it would be more likely than for the Big Ten and kind of that bigger power to say, hey, Tony Petitti, you're done. Mm-hmm. You're a new. Big Ten commissioner within the year as well, by the way, because what's his name just went to the Bears last year. So you're new, yep, we get it, but you've done a bad job to start. This is one of the bigger scandals in college football history, and you have not handled this the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, and the more national people that keep speaking up about this in a negative way about Michigan, that gives them more ammo, because that's and don't use this as an official term, but that's defaming their name. That's the more negative attention that is brought on Michigan is that stuff that they can bring up in court of why this decision by Tony Petitti to suspend him. Whether Michigan is guilty or not, or whether Jim Harbaugh is guilty or not, the way the decision was made prematurely is what they're going after, and it's now painting Michigan in a bad light. They're just giving them all the ammo. It's far from over, but I do think movement is going to be happening sooner rather than later. Hey, they got to get this figured out.
Breaking news, by the way.
What happened?
iKing Horse is in the chat. Absolute legend of a commenter. iKing's one of my favorites of all time. I love everyone in the chat. iKing, I think, has been in the chat since I've started at Woodward years ago. So shout out to him for that. I just noticed him. He hasn't been in here in a little while, but so shout out to iKing.
Shout out
everyone else too. I see Steve Lehman, Mike Hilton, I'm Salty, Tyler Chevet, Eric Burrow, The Keys to Wisdom,
Wavy Gang,
Lou Sassel. I don't know how to pronounce that. Anakin.
No, say that again. Say Lou's name slower again.
Loose. Oh, they got me. Oh, no way. I just got that. Was that actually on purpose?
I think so.
That is great. Oh, my gosh. That's an all-time clip. No one clip that, please. Yeah. Keep that as a Woodward Nights secret, hey?
Yes.
Because, I mean, if you probably change your name a couple times, I probably will read it out again, and I probably won't realize it. So,
yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe that. All right, let's go to break.
Yep.
That's some interesting stuff. No other shows have had that, and I think we should just keep breaking that on our show.
Yeah.
Because that's some great insider information.
I've got some more stuff out there that I haven't been able to confirm enough yet for me to say it, but there's a lot of weird SHIT going on.
I hope we can talk after the show here a little bit.
Maybe.
I want to hear a few things.
Maybe. But we got big-time power rankings coming in hot.
Yes, we do. Before that, something else that's hot, Dispo.
Yeah, only if you light it up. You can be cooler if you chew it, a little edit. Anyways, join Braylon Edwards. Speaking of chewing, Thanksgiving. Join Braylon Edwards and the Dispo Dispensary family at their Hazel Park location on Tuesday, November 21st for their Thanksgiving turkey giveaway. Starting at noon, Dispo will be giving away Thanksgiving turkeys over the course of the day. All you have to do is purchase any product from Dispo Hazel Park on Tuesday afternoon, and you'll receive your turkey available while supplies last. Dispo Hazel Park is located at 634 West 9 Mile Road, Hazel Park, Michigan. Pull up, re-up, and grab your bird for Thanksgiving dinner.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
How would you like to win a 100K Vegas getaway? Take your friends to the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase the 24-pack today and enter to win at drinkcintron.com/Vegas. And buy Cintron at your local Meijer store. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste so you can look good, feel great, and be the best version of yourself at Cintron. Check them out at drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate all of you guys locking in. Beautiful Tuesday. It was beautiful outside today. Not cold, not too. It was a perfect day outside, to be honest.
Stunning. And we hit 100? We hit 100.
Let's get to 130. Let's get to 130. At the end of this segment, let's hit 115. By the end of the show, 130. Hey, let's do this. Power rankings. It is Tuesday. You guys know the deal. We do our NFL power rankings. We'll go through them all, react to them, and then we'll get into mailbag and end the show here. Broder, I'll let you go first with yours this time.
Cool.
I went first last. You hit it this time here.
Jenna, could you throw that up?
Yeah,
on the screen.
You. Give me 1 second, my good sir.
You bet. My number 10, let me see. Oh, here we go. Hey, look at that. My Week 11 NFL power ranking. Coming in at number 10. I tried so hard to keep them off this list. I couldn't do it. I put the Houston Texans at number 10. You see just missed the cut Bengals. Bengals were the one that moved out. They just lost. Who'd they just lose to? Where's my notes?
Houston.
They just lost to Houston. That's freaking why. I had in my head, I was like, wait, I can't do this because I'm going to put the Lions ahead of Kansas City up top. Coming in at number 9, Jacksonville Jaguars take a big drop. I had them at number 5 last week. They got crushed. They got crushed by, what is it? I can't remember this stuff. By the 49ers. Oh, my gosh. Dallas Cowboys coming in at number 8. They played well. They're sticking in. I think I had them at number 9 last week. I did. Dallas Cowboys coming in hot. We got the Miami Dolphins at number 7. The Dolphins just had a bye week. They were my number 17 last week, so I'm keeping them right there. This one, I think might be one of the higher ones. I put them higher than most people. I'll see where you have yours. Cleveland Browns. They just beat the Ravens, who I still hold, as you see, I still hold the Ravens in very high regard.
Yeah, that's kind of
Cleveland
surprising.
made a little statement there. I don't trust their offense quite yet, but they keep beating some of the best teams. I got to give them credit. 6-3 now. How about that?
It's a little surprising, to be honest.
Right? Hey, that's fair. That's fine. San Francisco 49ers, number 5. They just demolished the Jaguars. I had them a couple spots down last week. They move up. Kansas City Chiefs. I saw a lot of power rankings that had them at number 2, which is really hard to keep them out of there. But
where'd you have them last week?
Kansas City Chiefs. I had them. What is it for? I had them at number 4. So I just kept them there. But I had the Lions at number 5 and the Lions jumping them
for winning.
For winning how they did against the Chargers. That offense looked spectacular. That's why I did it. And the Baltimore Ravens. I know they lost to the Browns, but that's an incredible Browns defense. I can't hold that against them too much. They were my number 1 team last year. Bumped them down to number 2. I still think they're a very, very good team. And at number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles coming off a bye week. There it is.
I don't hate that. I'm trying to see if there's something. I love the Houston Texans on there. The little tease.
I'm excited to see if he's in your top 10 too.
Just missed the cut. The Bengals out, Seahawks out, Vikings out, Steelers out. Those are actually tease a little bit. Those are all the 4 teams that I have on my outside as well.
The Bengals, Seahawks, Vikings, and Steelers?
Yeah.
Look at that.
I remember how high I was on the Bengals last week.
Yeah.
They have fallen out of my top 10.
What? You were up like 2, 3, 4?
They were top 5.
Wow.
Sure.
Yeah. Hey. You got to win that game.
I think. I don't know. 5-4 in the top 10.
But maybe the Houston Texans are for real.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Let's do mine then real quick.
Let's see it. Let's see it. I want to stand up for this.
I'm not going to lie, Broder. We're just going to be completely frank. Pretty similar. We have a very, very similar top 10 here. At number 10, just like you, Broder, I have the Houston Texans who beat the Bengals. It felt like that was it was a good game, but they dominated at the end. It felt like they had control of that football game. Texans are really good. I think CJ Stroud right now is kind of on that MVP race, kind of he's having a great season right now. I think they deserve to be in the top 10. At number 9, last week I had the Jags at number 5. They dropped a game to the 49ers. It's not just that they dropped this game. I would have kept them probably in the top 7. The way they've been playing, winning all of those, 4 games in like 16 days or something crazy. But they lost 49-17, and they got ran off the field. There was no positives out of that game. It's similar to like the Ravens-Lions, except we saw what the Ravens did to the Seahawks, so it makes you feel a little bit better.
They actually lost 34-3.
Oh, was it? Did I have
think
it
you're
wrong
reading the Cowboys-Giants score, 49-17.
I must be.
But still, the same point goes.
Yes,
34-3 is worse.
I put that in there. Yep, that's my bad. 34-3 is even worse. They scored 3 points.
That offense needs to score 25 a game.
Yes, you have to. And give it up as well, 34 points. That was just a bad game all around. At number 8, I last week I had the Dolphins at number 9. They jumped up one spot. They were on a bye week. They didn't really do much. The way the kind of all the other games fell with the Jags falling and stuff, Dolphins moved up. Number 7, I have the Dallas Cowboys. They won 49-17. That's the right one. Had the Cowboys at number 8 last week. They moved up to my number 7 spot. They're just still like middle of the pack to me in that top 10.
Yeah, worthy of being in the top 10 for sure. They're not out of the top 10, but like
even dude, if they win like 4 straight, I just don't even think that they're going to crack my top 5 because it's just like I know what's going to happen at the end of the year.
Hey, Lindsey Hunter on TV.
Oh yeah, shout out Lindsey. I thought you were like outside. I was like, Lindsey's here.
ADD.
Number 6. Me and you have the same thing here. The Cleveland Browns.
Did you really?
6-3. They're 6-3. They've won some big games. They just beat the Ravens, who the Ravens just went and dominated the Seahawks, dominated the Detroit Lions. They are a legit football team, Broder. There's no way I was going to put the Browns lower. I had them at 10 last week, moved them up all past Cowboys, Dolphins, Jags, Texans. They passed everybody up.
Where'd you have the Ravens ranked last week?
Number 1.
Okay. So they definitely moved down significantly.
They moved down. I had them at number 5 this week, 7-3. You lose like that to the Browns, and I know the Browns. I moved them up to 7. It just the way they lost, kind of how that happened. They were in the lead, had control of the game, and they just fell apart.
Yeah,
things fell apart. The Browns looked like they dominated them in the fourth quarter. I'm going the Ravens, 7-3 at the number 5 spot. Number 4, moving back up. Last week, they were my number 7 team. They go from 7 to number 4, 6-3 49ers. They beat the Jags 34-3. I had that written down right in my notes for the 49ers. I just didn't change it. When they're fully healthy, Debo, Trent Williams, now
nasty.
Chase Young, they're legit. They're scary.
That defensive line, man.
Yeah, so I do think the Lions right now, though, after that Chargers win, I had trouble putting the Lions at number 3. I'm not going to lie.
Like, you thought they might be higher?
I thought they should be at I almost put them at 4 with the 49ers. 49ers beating the Jags 34-3 compared to the Lions, Chargers, kind of close and neck and neck.
I get it. That's hard.
Yeah, so I did go Lions at 7-2. They're sitting at number 3. Last week they were number 6 for me, but getting that win, I had them jump a couple people. The Chiefs. This is where kind of people I put it on Twitter and I already had people commenting like, why do you have the Chiefs above the Lions? There's just when they're a full healthy team. That defense has been so elite. When Travis Kelce, all of those guys are fully healthy, this is one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, they would have been number 3. If the Ravens didn't lose, I would have had them still at number 1. Chiefs at number 2, though, 7-2. And then the Eagles, they just, by default, jumped up because the Ravens lost.
Yeah.
That was it. I had the Ravens number 1, and they lost, dropped them down by default. I threw the Eagles up there.
I don't think there's anything... I don't mean to speak about our list, but I don't think there's anything like egregious to it. I think it's a pretty solid list. I mean, yeah. I understand if someone has the Bengals on there and maybe the Texans at 11. I would get... I don't know. I'm not moving the Jacksonville Jaguars out of the top 10. I think you did a good job, Boone.
I hear Chef says, no, Booner, they lost to the Broncos. Your argument is negated. I don't know who he's talking about there. Who lost to the Broncos?
Who just lost to the Broncos? Last night, the Bills.
Oh, the Bills? Yeah, but the Bills aren't even in my top 10 anymore.
They're not even in my top 14.
Me neither. I don't. Something about the Bills just really,
yeah.
They need to prove it to me.
Like a city in Montana, they just continue to be billing.
Yes, I don't know what that is, but
Billings, Montana is not one of my better jokes, but it was a joke nonetheless.
Yeah, has anyone heard of Billings, Montana?
Thank you. Next,
I got you, brother.
Yeah, it was bad.
Man,
I've had better.
That was a bad joke.
Happens.
End of day. Yeah, that was just bad. All right, big boy. When we come back, we're gonna kind of break these down a little bit more. National rankings.
Oh my god.
Actually, should we do this?
What?
When we come back, we're either going to do national rankings or we're going to do. I had a question. What pro team do you hate the most? We might do one of the two. We'll talk about it over the break.
Whey protein.
Whey protein. Shout out. But Big Boy, wintertime in Detroit. It is. I believe Big Boy, correct? Yeah, Big Boy. It is always better with comfort food from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. How about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The classic lumberjack or Santa Fe garden. Make sure you guys try that out. Also, the new apple pie hotcakes. They are too good to miss. Top it all off with the new gingerbread shake for dessert. Stop over at your local Big Boy today for all of that. Look at all those. Look great. Big Boy, baby.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand, you offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did when they opened up Les Stanford Buick GMC. They got the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford, their flagship location in Dearborn today. Again, find the brand you want. LesStanford.com.
All right, we are back. Woodward Nights, baby. With the Woodward Sports YouTube Network. Not YouTube Network, YouTube channel on WoodwardSports.com. All of that. Make sure you guys check all of the Woodward Sports out on socials as well. Every single platform. Been killing it on there. We're almost, I think, to 100,000 on every social platform, which is crazy. When I started helping with socials, we've came a long way. So I appreciate you guys all locking in. If you guys haven't yet, we have a lot of people here watching the show. Make sure on the YouTube channel you guys hit that like button for us. Trying to hit 130 here before the end of the show. We've got 2 more segments left. We're at about 112. We can do 15, 18 more, get to over 130. Appreciate you guys all for that. Let's get into this. So we're going to continue this power rankings talk. I want to I kind of want to see what the people think about where the lines are. Before we do that, let's look at this. You guys already know what it is. Pete Prisco.
Oh, Pete.
Pete Prisco time, baby. The clown himself. Pete Prisco. This week, Pete Prisco put it out. It's interesting to me because Pete's had the Lions at like 16. He's had them at 8 when they were like 5-1. He's been everywhere with the Detroit Lions. But Pete this week, Broder, I know you're going to, people in the chat, all the listeners, you're going to be proud of Pete this week.
Dude must have cold feet. He flip-flops so often.
I almost passed out when I saw this today.
Really?
Yeah.
It's good or bad?
Dude, I could not believe this.
Oh, my gosh.
Pete Prisco.
3.
The Detroit Lions.
Come on, dude.
3rd in the NFL, baby.
Petey Pablo coming in with the legit ranking?
No, he has a legit one. The only thing I could say about this one is that man needs to put the Dallas Cowboys down. There's no reason the Dallas Cowboys should be number 4.
How are the Ravens so low?
Yeah, that is crazy. You know what he did, though? I'm starting to notice about Pete. Actually, no.
No, because the Lions are behind the Chiefs.
Yeah, Pete, we need to have a conversation here. You had the Browns above the Ravens because they beat them. Lions did beat the Chiefs.
I would love to hear from Pete Prisco. Like, maybe he has a good reason for putting the Cowboys there. Like, I don't believe in the Cowboys, but if he said something that I'm trying to think of what he would say to change my mind.
I'm telling you, I know exactly what it is and why. I've seen people comment on it before and I've done some deep dives in Pete Prisco. I've taken some deep dives on him. People commented on it and said that Pete has a what's the word I'm looking for?
Vendetta?
Not a vendetta, but
vendetta.
what is it called? Like you're trying to make your own take. Look, he's got a narrative to write.
Narrative.
Thanks for getting me hard, JB.
Yes, he has a narrative. Thanks, Jeff. He has a narrative though, and his narrative is when he does his preseason stuff, he picks out these teams he thinks are going to be great. Example, maybe the Cow. I haven't went and
was
checked
he the
this.
Packers guy?
He was the Packers guy.
Yeah, he was.
He was big on the Jags. Remember when the Jags were up after they were losing? There was a handful of teams to where it did not make any sense. Then when I started reading Twitter comments,
That makes sense.
it was like, hey, Pete had these teams in the preseason, picked to win.
Damn shame. What did
He
damn
had the
Skippy?
Lions losing.
Wow. Well, hey, at least he has him ahead of his narratives.
He does.
Ahead of the Cowboys, ahead of the Pack. He better have him ahead of the Packers. You know what I'm saying?
The Packers might be like 25th.
Yeah,
and they were
should
at
be.
like 8th at one point.
Wow.
In week 4.
I think I had him up there.
Did you?
I don't know. Week 1 and 2, like did they win their first game? Kind of good. I don't know. Forget the Packers.
Yeah,
we'll see them in 2 weeks.
I do have a good segment I want to bring up too later this week. We're gonna do let's do an Adam Rank segment.
Okay.
An Adam Rank. I went back today. I'm weird sometimes. I went back and looked at some of his old tweets from earlier in the year talking about the Detroit Lions. I found about 3 or 4 of them of him going at the Lions. He had the Detroit Lions picked second in the NFC North. Guess who he had them behind? Obviously,
Packers.
The Chicago Bears.
Oh, Adam Rank. My bad. Yeah, Chicago
He had
Bears.
them behind the Chicago Bears. Had the Chicago Bears winning 12 games.
Are you joshing with me?
I'm not joshing with you. He
What
did a
an
quarterbacks
absolute
ranking
clown.
a year or two ago, and he had Jared Goff as the 8th or the 7th best quarterback in the NFC North. And that is not a
7th
joke.
best quarterback in the
That was
NFC
when
North?
the Lions won 3 games a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
He had them, and I can name off the players real quick.
Rodgers. It was Jordan Love as the backup, I believe.
We
They had the backups in there as well. But let me give you guys a quick update here on your last place Detroit Pistons.
No, what happened?
Oh my gosh.
126 to 120 they lost to the Atlanta Hawks tonight. But
Without Trae Young?
without Trae Young, but a couple bright spots. Asar Thompson, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, and 2 steals, I believe. So
Well, that pick is turning out well. And Hunter Dickinson is on the screen right now.
He is.
that's
Ew.
just a
Kansas.
disgusting basketball night. I believe State lost to Duke as well.
So this is the list that Adam Rank had.
Thank you.
This is shout out Nick too. That
Pistons
was
are
great.
4-31
What
since
did we
trading
say?
Sadiq Bey.
Thanks for the update over there in the studio, Nick.
Anytime. Back to you, boys.
You ever see that weatherman who sneaks in like rap lines in his weather take?
I think
Hero.
Yeah,
Not
there's
spelled with a
also
G.
the weatherman that like dances too.
Interesting. I'm not much of a dancer.
All right, Adam
Anyways.
Rank, my NFC North quarterback power rankings, and then in quotations, if Rodgers leaves. Number 1, Justin Fields.
So this is before this year?
This is May of 2021.
Okay, so this is,
Before
3 and
last
13
year.
season.
This
like
is
you
after
said.
the 3 and 13 season.
Okay.
Number 2, Kirk Cousins. Number 3, Andy Dalton. Number 4, Nick Foles. Number 5, Jordan Love. Number 6, Kellen Mond.
Kellen Mond ahead of Jared
Yes.
Goff.
And number 7, Jared Goff.
And we see a rookie, like this was before he played a snap. Oh my gosh.
First comment here, someone said he hasn't even played it down yet. Jesus, you guys need to take a break with this. And he said, "You're like the teacher who yelled at us for taking it before the." Or
I thought you were talking about the
before
chat
bell.
now.
Let us enjoy this. Yeah, no, I just think it's ridiculous. I saw that. We'll go over that too.
Cut him out.
We'll do an Adam. I haven't heard about Adam Rank in a while.
Yeah, it's because the Bears suck.
He's been quiet.
Anyways, tell them about Lady Jane's because then we got to get back into mailbag. I know you guys have so much questions for us. Get them ready. Get them answered. Put them in the chat. Hit the like button first and then put your answer and question in. Then maybe hit it again. Like if you can. Share it. Be a friend. Tell a friend.
All right, Lady
you.
Jane's. Come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That is right. No expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
at work, and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live this Sunday for the official Lions VIP tailgate party. It's at Eastern Market in shed number 5, and it's going to be a bash. Starts at 9:30 a.m., runs up until game time. Come pregame with Woodward Sports, your friends here at Woodward Sports. We got food, we got drinks, we got entertainment. It's all included. You just got to buy your tickets up at bullseyeeventgroup.com. Again, bullseyeeventgroup.com. Let's go.
Mailbag, baby. We are back. Woodward Sports Network. It is Woodward Nights. Make sure you guys have it. We're at 120 likes. Let's get over 130. Smack that like button for us before the end of the show. We're going to go maybe a minute or two over here just because we're starting mailbag a little bit late and want to make sure we get as many questions in as we can. Broder, do you have any here so far?
Let me look. William Vanderswag from the west side of Michigan.
Shout
mailbag.
out.
Well, I will be honest, Ben Johnson did turn down the head coach position before. Do you guys think he's going to stay for the Lions, or is he going to sign with a team that needs a head coach? Is there any chance that Ben Johnson decides to stick it out one more year?
If the money talks. And
I think that's got to be it, right?
I think there's a couple scenarios, and I guess it's the same thing kind of with like a J.J. McCarthy at Michigan. It's like if maybe you get close to the Super Bowl and you're like right there, and maybe you don't get it, or like a J.J. where like you get a national championship or a Super Bowl and you want to make another run at it. I think you can have an argument both ways. I think there is that chance though to where you can convince Ben Johnson, hey, if that right job isn't out there, we'll give you $4 million, 2 more years, stay with us. Let's make a run. Let's build a franchise, a mini dynasty here.
Love that.
Here you go.
Love that. Chef talks NFL mailbag. Let's hear Booner explain how the Chiefs losing to both the Lions and the Broncos does not put the Chiefs below the Lions.
Chef, I'm telling you, the Lions could have gone over the Chiefs. When I saw the comment on Twitter, I was like, it could have gone both ways there. I don't know. You know what? And you know what it is too? It's the Lions lost by 30 points to a contender. That's part of it.
Yeah, fair.
And it's when the Lions lost to beat the Chiefs, they were missing their 2 best players. I'm not trying to be like Flannel Sam up here. I'm just like, you asked for the opinion and kind of where my mind, where my mind went on that. It could go back and forth between these two teams right now. And I just ended up doing 2 and 3. And I think it's basically 2A, 2B right now.
Gotcha.
That's just where it's at.
Hopefully you guys know cars a little bit. If not, we'll move on. But Phil, mailbag. If you could pick any 70s to 80s muscle car, what would it be?
Shout out Phil. I'll just say some type of like a Mustang.
Just a straight up Mustang.
Yeah.
You know
Cobra.
You know who makes those? Ford.
Ford, baby.
Yeah, go Lions. You guys know cars? If not, no big deal. What's up? 70s or 80s muscle car. What's up? The question.
So I do a Mustang. My grandfather had one. I'll do a Mustang. I want it to be chromed out though. Chromed out Mustang.
Oh yeah,
easy.
Still fly like the big timers. I don't know I don't know cars enough to comment. I like Mustangs, sure.
Give me a little Honolulu blue one. Let's go.
That would be beautiful.
That'd be hot.
Mike stripe rolling through it.
It's a good one.
Mike Hilton, mailbag. Does Booner remember saying he could beat Broder in any sport? Just kidding. That's not what he wrote, but he does write that sometimes.
That is the fact, though. Still,
you did say that. Mailbag. Will JMO even come close to a 100-yard game this year?
Yeah.
I still feel that big play or two is coming. What do you think?
Thanksgiving Day, boys.
100%. It's gonna come.
Yeah,
it's 100% gonna come for sure.
The national narrative, of the JMO, everything, it's going to change on Thanksgiving Day. He's going to blow up for over 100 yards, maybe a couple tutties in there. But also, back to the Broder thing, I was thinking maybe something we could do for a little content. Broder pitches to us. We try to get some hits off of Broder.
I'll hit a home run.
To be fair,
Michigan baseball player.
I made contact for sure. At this hit,
I can swing a bat.
I'm not going to lie. I'm only about 4 years removed. I don't know, man.
I think it would be great for content.
Broder, I'll hit a bomb off you.
That won't happen, I know. You guys might make contact. I don't exactly throw that hard.
All right. Hey, Freddie here.
95.
He said, just wait. He put in quotations, just wait until basketball season. How impressed have you guys been so far with Michigan basketball? They are great on both sides of the ball. Great show, as always, tonight. Thank you, Freddie. Appreciate you. Shout out Metallica, too. You were there. I said this before the show, kind of off the air. With Michigan State losing today, don't know when Michigan's next game is. But if they play again this week and they win, or if they don't play this week, Michigan will be ranked in the top 25, and Michigan State will have fallen out of the top 25, in my opinion. There's a chance that we actually see that after everyone was like, hey, wait till basketball. Now one of the teams are going to be in the top 25 and the other isn't.
Yeah, Booner, they play at home against Long Beach State, so you got to think that's a massive
4-0 after
30,
that.
40-point win. Shout out Doug McDaniel. Doug's looked like just the next great Michigan point guard in that Trey Burke, Derek Walton, Xavier Simpson kind of mold. That dude's wicked fast, and he got the ball on his string. What'd you say?
I was just getting happy, man, because watching that game against St. John's, doing Mari Burnett, he was running point guard, man. That's not his specialty, but he was running point guard, shooting. The Tennessee transfer, they nasty, dude.
Nasty.
Eduardo here.
Big nasty.
Lucas's argument this morning was that the Lions needed playoff experience that the Bengals didn't need it 2 years ago. So why do we go get the 1 seed?
We don't.
Eduardo, you're completely right. Asking for a 2 seed over a 1 seed is one of the most ridiculous and craziest arguments I've ever heard in my life, to be honest.
I'm with you. Do you want in on this, Jalen?
I do. What? I'm gonna stand on it. I'm not gonna.
He's on Lucas's side.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie and say I'm not listen though. Let me.
I can't believe this.
Me and Sid are together.
I'm not going to. So quit asking.
I just don't know. If we play the Vikings, we may lose. But we can lose to anybody. But I just don't really.
You know who we can't lose to?
Well,
nobody.
If we're at home, we are not. But then, if we play Seattle or so, next round,
you have a chance in round 1 to get dropped if you play, or you can get the 1 seed and get a week off, get everyone healthy, and not have a chance to get upset. Look at the Vikings last year. They went and played the Giants, and they were the favorite, and they ended up getting beaten.
And we're gonna be the favorites too. And lo and behold, God knows what every Detroit fan's gonna think when we start playing any game in the playoffs. But we're going to be the
Field's going to be
You should want the 1
We'll
seed.
be the favorites, but so I'm not going to just be oh yeah, I'm not. I haven't been around the last 24 years.
So Jalen, real quick, if every single right now with the way the playoffs are, if the Lions get the 1 seed, if every single higher seed wins, the Detroit Lions in the divisional round will play the New Orleans Saints at home in the divisional round to go to the NFC Championship.
That's second round after a bye, which
if things align, so yeah, that'd be.
But if you go for the 1 seed, why wouldn't you want to be let's do that? Worst case scenario, what? In the second round of the playoffs, you have to play the Seahawks, which you may have to play them in the first no matter what anyways.
And guess what? We're probably going to lose.
So would you rather play them in the second or the first round?
I mean, if we lose, does it matter?
Second round. We're going to beat them. Come on.
You get the 1 seed.
3 losses straight to the Hawks.
By the way, how about this? I King Hurst says I agree with Common. I think he's calling
Common is crazy,
That's a good one. That's a good one. Hi, King Hurst. Thanks for being here, brother.
I saw one more here. I saw one. I'm trying to scroll. I saw it. Etienne, what is Booner's excuse for Allen's mediocre play recently? Doesn't seem great for someone who's supposedly a top 2 quarterback in the NFL, according to Booner and Flannel. Hey, Etienne, I've already said it. He's not a top 2 right now. He's bad. No excuses. I'm not going to sit up here and put up excuses like other people do. I'm going to shoot it to you straight. Josh Allen's been terrible the last 2 or 3 weeks. He better figure it out. They fired their OC. Maybe that'll help out a little bit. I don't know. Needs to take care of the ball. No interceptions. Figure it out. You're one of the best players in the NFL. Go out there and do it.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
I'll admit when I'm wrong. I've done it 100 times with Jeff. We get into these arguments. I'm like, I'm wrong.
Hey.
All right. Appreciate you guys all locking
Lose
in.
asshole.
On your way out, hit that like button. We're 6 away from 130. Let's get to 130. Appreciate all of you guys for locking in with us. Great show today. We will see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, 8 to 10 p.m. Make sure you guys tune in. Love you guys.
My G's. Like you, Andrew Jones.